If that be true and human capital is becoming the center of innovation, whether you're wanting to come to India or we are wanting to come to France, human capital is all about understanding human capital, and making human capital work for you is going to be the biggest difference between success and failure for all our corporations. Doesn't matter what nationality, what country, what business, what vertical, doesn't matter. Whether it's French companies wanting to come to India, you need human capital. You need innovation to be the center stage of your decision making. Whether Indian IT companies like HCL wants to go out, it's human capital. So we started an experimental journey in 2005. Before that, let me just give you a quick background of who we are. We are an IT services company with a very strong R&D bent. We must be amongst the single largest independent R&D house in the world. From aerospace to medical electronics to Android phones and televisions to embedded devices which go inside the body to IT services across the globe with about 79,000 people spread across 32 countries. So we are not an Indian housed company. A significant amount of population of ours is spread all over the world, including about 10,000 in Europe. One of the things we asked ourselves in the year 2005 was, is the differentiation for the year 2020 going to be on what we do, or is it going to be in how we do it? And like you, our growth rate, we see ourselves in South Africa. We see ourselves in Poland. We see ourselves in Brazil. We see ourselves in all kinds of countries which are growing up very fast. And we see ourselves in continental Europe in a very big way because there's a significant change. And Japan, which are culturally different, difficult to penetrate. So when we look at all this, we asked ourselves, is our core difference how we do things or what we do? And the answer was in the Japanese experiment when they took on the automakers of US, by actually transforming how they ran the companies, they could take on the might of the US automakers, and some European automakers also did the same thing, and dominate the auto for about 10, 15 years till they lost on innovation. They could not innovate fast enough. So we started thinking about, is there an experiment we can launch on how we run the company, and is culture the centered theme of an accelerated growth? And we came to that conclusion by asking ourselves 4 fundamental questions. Question 1, what is the core business we are in? And the answer was not IT services. The answer is to deliver differentiated value for our customers. Interesting, differentiated value, not volume, but value to our customers. Second question, in our business, where does that value get created? And the answer is the value gets created in the interface of our customers and our employees. If you want to do business in India, where does the value get created? Not in head office, in the interface of your India manager and the customer, your China manager and the customer. That's a value zone. The third question is, who creates the differentiated value which will help you grow faster? And the answer is the employees in that value zone. And hence the most fundamental question of all. If the employees in that zone create the differentiated value which helps you grow faster, hence what should the business of managers and management be? And the answer for us in 2005 is the business of managers and management should be to enthuse, encourage, enable the employees in that zone to create the differentiated value so that we can grow faster. How do you do it? By putting employees first, customers second. So we said, how do we create an employee-centric organization? And then we said, one of the big ways we can do that, 2 big ways we can do that, is by making the management equally accountable to the employees as the employees are accountable to the management. And we were talking just before this conversation as to how do we implement it. And I am an advisor to some of the large global banks who wanted to penetrate emerging markets. And there is an important study which I did, which was very interesting. I was sitting in a room and there is a global head of this bank who came in and asked this question, to this person, so how is the business doing? As soon as he lands, he comes to the office, and I discovered that 10 days it has taken to prepare the presentation for this manager. He comes, he reviews the presentation, and then he's taken to customers 1, 2, 3, 4, whether the customers need them or not. He's kept busy, then he's wined and dined, he's told stories about India and songs and dance, and then he takes a visit to Taj, and he goes away. So after 7 days, this guy sits down and saying, finally he is gone, and within 2 days, another manager comes and asks the same questions. Again, he's wined and dined and taken to 10 customers, and again he has, a point of view, and then he goes away. So all the Indian manager is doing in that particular case was not doing his job, but was making presentation for this head office because they had too many questions. And my answer to that organization, which fortunately they adopted, was that if everybody comes to India and asks a simple question, what can I do for you? And says, what did you ask me last time and what did I do for you? Are the two questions they ask, it will transform the way your Indian manager will start behaving. Because the day he runs out of questions of what he wants from you, that is the day you nail him down and make him accountable. And till that question, you have to deliver to him. So you as manager have to be accountable to him rather than anything else. And that's the journey we followed in this journey which we call employee centricity and creating a value through employee-centric organization.